Today on Studio G, Shelly Salbito talks about crime on the UNLV campus.
Crystal Berguerza takes us on a 72-second thrill on the new ride open at Circus.
And later we'll be joined with CSUN Student Body President Mark Ciavola.
All that and more, Studio G starts right now.
Welcome to Wednesday's edition of Studio G. I'm Elena Ledbetter.
And I'm Kyle King.
The semi-trucks that hold the cars competing in the NASCAR Sprint Cup on Sunday are coming to the Las Vegas Strip. The NASCAR Hauler Parade begins today at 6 p.m. and will give fans an up-close look of more than 50 competitors participating in the race this weekend. Fans will be able to view the parade from both sides of the strip.
Yesterday, UNLV welcomed Dr. Greg Miller, editor of Las Vegas 7 and Russia specialist, to discuss the recent events going on in Ukraine and Russia. Students and faculty members gathered in the Emerging Technologies Lab in the Greenspun College of Urban Affairs to hear Dr. Miller's view on what he described as the most risk-filled moment of the post-Cold War era. He also discussed why the issue in Ukraine is so important to the United States.
We're dealing with a major world power. So the hearts and minds of the Russian people are important for the United States.
He believes that the U.S. must stay diplomatic and cordial engagement is necessary, even if it is done reluctantly.
You can deal with countries in a way that you're not embracing them and hugging them, but you're also not pointing fingers and screaming, but you are discussing common points of concern and common points of interest in a level-headed, cool way.
Russia is a strong trading power for the United States and is the world's leading natural gas producer, and he thinks those are strong reasons why a diplomatic relationship is necessary, even though the United States does not necessarily agree with Russia's actions.
We are dealing with a regime, and the Putin regime, that plays by its own rules and is not particularly interested in what we think.
For Las Vegans and people in America who want to stay up to date on what's going on overseas, Dr. Miller recommended the Moscow Times as a reliable source of information.
Crime on campus is down at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas, but crime is still becoming an issue for housing residents. Reporter Shelly Salbito has more.
Every time I come here, and I always try to leave early.
Meredith Vega knows that UNLV's campus is not one of the safest areas of the valley.
It is kind of scary to think that there's assaults happening, and I think there needs to be more action with the staff or more, awareness of the situations happening.
On Southern Nevada college campuses, forcible sex offenses are rare, while liquor violations are more common, according to the most recent reports made under the Act.
Well, I feel as if crime shouldn't be a part of school, but it happens because we're teenagers. Or we're not necessarily teenagers, but we're adolescents. We do stupid things, we drink. Certain people choose to smoke.
UNLV is one of the state's largest college campuses with residential housing, reported the highest number of liquor law violations and drug violations, with the majority of them occurring on campus. The most recent incident that occurred on campus happened Friday in the South Residence Halls, making it the second housing fire of this year.
Like I said, it's currently under investigation. I know the fire departments, the fire marshals were out doing an investigation.
UNLV police have stepped up surveillance along the campus perimeter, parking lots, and in residence halls. They say the new statistics show their efforts are working.
If we catch the violators, if it turns out that this fire was an arson, and purposefully set, and we catch the violators, they'll be prosecuted to the full extent of the law. We'll make the arrest, and they'll go through the criminal justice system.
For Studio G, I'm Shelly Salbito. Universities that receive funding for financial aid are required to report certain crimes happening on or around campus to the federal government under the Jean Cleary Disclosure of Campus Security Policy and Campus Crime Statistic Act.
There is a difference between homelessness at the youth age level and the adult age level, and it's a growing problem both nationally and locally. There are approximately 7,000 homeless youth enrolled in Clark County elementary, middle, and high schools. However, being homeless extends beyond those living on the street, in a car, or in a shelter. Organizations like Title I, HOPE, and the Nevada Partnership for Homeless Youth are working together to counter this problem.
We're doing some mentoring programs in our high schools, and also we're doing resource centers where kids can go in and get food and clothing, school supplies, they can get it on a computer. So, you know, we're really trying to adapt our services based on the needs of the kids.
On a nationwide scale, about 1.5 to 1.7 youth will become homeless during the course of any given year in the United States. It is the goal of organizations such as these to provide these youth with a place to not only overcome, but to grow into independence.
Kids who are very excited to be here because, you know, they were in a really tough situation, and this was just what they were looking for. I've had kids who woke up one day and their parents literally moved out on them. By the time they got here, they were just, you know, cautious and scared and worried. So every kid's situation is different, but more often than not, there's a sense of relief.
Many kids often come out of situations with expectations that places like these will be a certain type of lockdown, but Title I, HOPE, and NPHY have worked to keep their atmosphere welcoming and against the norm. Both organizations and those who they correspond with work hard every day to achieve one goal: to not let these youth become just another statistic. Stay with us. Studio G will be right back.
Only place where you're going to hear these stories, the stories that count, that Combox Radio refuses to cover. My show is the King Louie Show, so, you know, no one really wants to hear about the last bombing that happened in Baghdad. So we do the stories that matter, like K-Rev having a seizure at mid-court, or fast-paced show with lots of fast-paced music, especially punk rock, and stories that hit hard. King Louie here, host of the King Louie Show on the Rebel HD2, and I am here every Friday noon to 2.
Participation in Greek fraternity and sorority life at UNLV can provide an experience like no other, with benefits including supportive friends, leadership and career opportunities, and community service.
Greek life at UNLV is really great because it's a good way to network and meet new people from all over the place.
We got academics and we're all about that culture. So we encompass everything all around, and we're out here and we're trying to better ourselves and try to make it better, and let's just make it all better all together.
Welcome back from the break, and happy Wednesday, Las Vegas. So I'm so excited that we'll be having warmer weather, and I'll get to that in a minute. But right now we are at 60 degrees, sunny with some clouds and no winds. Our low for today is at 51, our average low 48, and we have an average high of 68. So we're right around where we're supposed to be. Check out for that sunset at 5:40. Right now we have Bishop at sunny 63 degrees, Tonopah 55, Reno cloudy 61, and Winnemucca cloudy 56. And we have Flagstaff sunny, only 51 degrees. So our warmer weather is coming from this high pressure system. We do have clouds coming in, and we can expect the rain to stay north of us for now. But for tomorrow's weather, we can see Bishop cloudy 63, Tonopah cloudy 55, Elko 46, Flagstaff 51. What do we have in store for our week? Well, we have Thursday and Friday breezy, and then as we welcome in our NASCAR fans, it will be sunny. And then Saturday will be daylight savings time, so we'll spring forward as we go into Wednesday in the mid 70s. But I want to show you guys this video from last week's storm, as there was a street flooded, and luckily NASCAR is not coming this week. You can see that. So for you guys driving around at all and see any flooded intersections?
Oh yeah, it was flooding like crazy near my house. A lot of gutters were just filled with water. It was pretty scary to drive for me.
Yes, the roads were slick. It was very, very dangerous. I did not like that weather personally at all.
No, I'm just excited that we have warmer weather coming our way.
Exactly.
Definitely
looking forward to that. We will have a beautiful week, unlike last week when the streets are flooded. I received a couple videos of a flooded corner and one of the truck driving through the flood. Check it out in slow motion. Well, I guess that slow motion video isn't going to be coming through. So, thanks, Christina. What might have seemed as an unexpected act of kindness may have played part in the kidnapping of a college student on Saturday. Friends and family are desperately searching for 19-year-old Haley Howard. The missing teen made one last phone call and mentioned that she was getting roadside assistance from a group of strangers.
We know that she talked to was someone on the side of the road who helped her with a flat tire.
That they were nice people. A group of nice people helped me change the tire, she said. So.
Teen's family urged witnesses to come out and speak on any information that they may have. Authorities are keeping an eye out in areas along the bayou for signs of vehicles entering the water and checking cameras in the hopes of finding more insight on Howard's whereabouts.
New Orleans on the South Shore and in St. Tammany is going back looking at any private sector videos that may be available, trying to isolate a location that she was last seen.
Wanting to find our daughter safe and sound. We miss her, and you know, anything anybody knows, please call.
Howard was last seen Friday dropping off a friend at their college campus. Loved ones of the missing girl are passing out flyers around the city in hopes of getting her home safe and sound. Studio G will be right back after this break. Stay tuned.
FGY.
Kaylin Hype. And I'm Jay Luna. And we're Ill Vibe Fear. It's an underground hip-hop show here at UNLV where we focus on making the hip-hop culture in the Las Vegas Valley more prevalent and just making people more aware of up-and-coming underground hip-hop artists.
Basically, we play what we like. It's really as simple as that. Most of the stuff we like are our hits, so it's both.
On KUNV HD2, Las Vegas.
Only place where you're going to hear these stories. The stories that count, that Combox Radio refuses to cover. My show is the King Louie Show. So, you know, no one really wants to hear about the last bombing that happened in Baghdad. So we do the stories that matter, like K-Rev having a seizure at mid-court, or fast-paced show with lots of fast-paced music, especially punk rock, and stories that hit hard. King Louie here, host of the King Louie Show on the Rebel HD2, and I am here every Friday noon to 2.
A single mother and widow has been avoiding the media for months, and now she speaks. Reporter Fabiola Mazzano has the story.
Lopez plans to marry the love of her life, Jonathan Ramirez.
One day we just started hanging out. We went to see a concert, which was a Hispanic concert, and he doesn't speak Spanish. So I took him to see Prince Royce, and that's when he found out he had feelings for me, and then he would send me flowers and stuff like that, leave flowers in the cars. He was a really sweet guy.
While Ramirez was working his way up to become a police officer, Lopez was 5 months pregnant. They both had plans to start a family where they wanted to welcome their second child before getting married.
Like, he wanted a big old traditional wedding.
Tell me more about it.
His traditional wedding where all kids could wear tux, so he wanted the baby to be at least one, so he could be walking in a tuxedo with the other two.
On September 20, 2013, Ramirez was riding his motorcycle to work where he collided with a vehicle, killing himself instantly at the scene. That's where Lopez's life forever changed.
I felt it, like, you know how you get those weird vibes. So then I was like, it's him, Mom. And then she was like, no, it's not. And then my brother called her and was like, don't tell Janelle, because I was pregnant, but I already knew.
Due in 3 months and with a child in one arm, Sandra Almanares says Lopez didn't eat nor sleep.
She wouldn't stop crying. She knew she had to be strong for them. Time heals everything, but really, I don't think so. Not when, like, your your soulmate passed away.
Motorcyclist Aaron Page says it is a tragedy to see another biker go down.
Only God knows the plan for that family and those children. Unfortunately, their father was taken from them much too early.
Lopez says Ramirez always challenged her to face her fears. The loss of him as a father and future husband was one of the biggest challenges of her life.
I'm all they have now, so I have to keep going for them, give them the best, continue his memory alive for them so they know who the dad was.
For Studio G, I'm Fabiola Marzano.
The death of Ramirez marks the 68th traffic fatality in Metro's jurisdiction this year. The accident is still under investigation.
Some students can afford to go out of the city for spring break, but UNLV sponsors alternative breaks that are offered for everyone that pays tuition. The university pays for 60% of student cost. 3 trips are made for spring break this year. Students will venture to the Desert Wild Refuge, Southern California, and San Diego. They will have a chance to explore and learn about diverse topics.
People are working hard to pay their tuition, so they think, I can't afford that. But we always want people to know that if you think you can't afford it, we can talk to you about either setting up a payment plan or offering some sort of scholarship to make sure that you can participate if this is something you really want to do. So we don't want students to miss out because they think they can't afford it. We have ways to make it happen.
UNLV has expanded the program significantly this year. It has been at the university for 8 years now, and they're taking students to Catalina Island in May and a trip to the organic farm in April.
California will work on an organic farm, and they'll help harvest things and weed, and then they'll visit a community garden, and then they'll go visit a community garden on another campus since UNLV will be having one open up soon. So they'll kind of see what that college did and maybe things we can learn to bring back here.
Odegaard says research show that plenty of significant learning happens outside of the classroom for students. The alternative break strays from the traditional party-filled week-long break and encourages students to have fun while learning and meet each other outside of the campus. Applications are currently live right now and can get more information at unlv.edu/service.ab. Don't go anywhere. Studio G will be right back.
We're Combox Radio, and we talk about anything from relationships, friendships, family, and school.
Yeah,
anything like that.
We know our shows is from the 3 to 4 o'clock hour. We want to take that hour to just kind of let everyone unwind and just
take a break with us.
Yeah.
Hi, my name's Crystal Magorza, and my show is called Combox Radio with Crystal May. We are on Thursdays from 3 to 4 p.m.
We're 3 Thieves in a Pod.
Our third pod is Cat Gonzalez.
We mainly talk about pop culture and whatever movie or TV show that we're interested in right now.
Pretty much everything about media, current events, current everything regarding pop culture and stuff.
I want them to laugh at us because we're so awkward.
This is a really casual show.
I'm Chelsea.
I'm Toby.
And we're 3 Thieves in a Pod. Come listen to us at therebelhd2.com.
Welcome back from the break. I'm Donald Woods. Joined with me is CSUN Student Body President Mark Ciavola. Mark, how are you doing?
How's it going on? Thanks for having me.
It's a pleasure. You come here every single semester. Now,
best.
Yeah, you're always welcome. Now, a lot has been going on with CSUN as far as the Board of Regents meeting that is actually tomorrow and Friday, and with a lot of the proposed increases with the Nevada system of higher education. So, what has been going on with CSUN?
Sure. So the Board of Regents will be considering a 4% tuition increase per year for 4 years. So that's a 16.98% compounded increase, so a 17% increase. That represents about $1,000 for the average student at UNLV per year, after we've already seen our tuition double since 2005. So it's just a lot of extra money students are paying, and we're continuing to see students priced out of their education.
And that's a serious situation. Now, for the Board of Regents meetings, students are allowed to come and speak about that proposal. So what have you guys been doing as far as getting students to come and actually get involved and speak?
Right, so there are a lot of different ways we get the word out through social media, Facebook, Twitter. At our events on campus, we had Party in the Pida yesterday. We had almost 500 flyers go out yesterday to students, encouraging them to come to the Board of Regents meeting on Friday morning. It's at CSN's West Charleston campus in Building D, Room 101. Students can come at 9 a.m. and deliver public comment about the tuition increases, tell their stories, why they can't afford to pay more to go to school, how they're already struggling to pay their bills now, and hopefully can finish their education and graduate.
Now, on the subject of student involvement, because you've been planning to come in here for a week, I actually reached out online to students to see, you know, what questions would you like for me to ask Mark Ciavola, and I found this one in particular. Mark, do you feel the event student government is creating is bringing more community to campus, or if UNLV is still a commuter campus? Because if I remember correctly, Rebel Palooza was a low turnout, as almost every other event aside from anything basketball.
All right, so there's a couple of different things in that question, so I'll go through them real quickly. First, Rebel Palooza was never a CSUN event. It was a capstone class at UNLV. CSUN tried to resurrect that last year to mixed results. It cost a lot of money. I was not personally for that event, but we did our best to make it happen. We still had 1,200 people, which is a huge event. I don't know if you can create more community on campus if you're student government, but you certainly can build the community we do have, give them more to do, different ways to engage, and I think our events have accomplished that.
Well, I'm glad that you've cleared that up, that was not a CSUN event, but I believe we are out of time. Thank you so much, Mark, for coming in.
Thanks, Don. Appreciate it.
It's always a pleasure to have you here. Stay tuned. More Studio G when we get back.
Joining a student organization can enhance and redefine the UNLV college experience. UNLV has over 200 registered student organizations on campus and in the Las Vegas community, encompassing a variety of interests, activities, and beliefs among the student body. To explore, access, and join a student organization, visit the Involvement Center website under my.unlv.edu. Be a rebel. Get involved.
Do I know you? Oh my God, who are you? Why are you taking my picture?
I'm Savannah.
I'm Zoe.
We're the hosts of Happy Hour. Our show is kind of like a mix of everything. It's like happy hour, whatever you do.
You never know what you're gonna get.
Yeah, all the elements of like kind of like a comedy show, kind of like put on radio along with news and then music. I'm Savannah.
I'm Zoe.
We're the hosts of Happy Hour on the Rebel HQ.
And I'm like, okay, whatever. Yeah.
Welcome back from the break. Las Vegas's art scene is flourishing with events such as First Friday, and this muralist is one of its contributors. Troy Fosgate tells us more.
Inside his brother's garage, Marcus Tracy creates murals that is one with nature.
I started painting probably the age of, 9 or 10, I think. Yeah, doing chalk drawings on the sidewalk outside of the backyard, actually, back in Virginia. My art is more representational, pop-ish in a way. I pull a lot from many websites or the web itself, magazines.
Consistency is key for an artist to reach their full potential.
But I think if you want to continue to pursue your career as an artist, is to continue to draw, continue to paint, continue to create. But also, too, is to associate and mingle with people.
Tracy believes that Las Vegas's art scene is growing.
The art scene's amazing. It's exploding. And when I first came onto the scene in 1996, I was part of the very first Friday event. That was probably 11, 12 years ago. And it was probably 50, 60 people, if that. And today, literally, we're talking thousands of people. If you have the money, buy a painting. It's very affordable because you never know, there might be a Picasso out there. I think art has the power to change the world, but one community at a time. And I want to make a mark in that. I want to see if I can change people's lives.
Marcus Tracy graces Las Vegas's landscape with vibrant murals. For Studio G, I'm Troy Fosgate.
If you want to know more about Marcus Tracy and his paintings, go to marcuswtracy.com.
The new roller coaster in the Adventure Dome is making riders go loco. Reporter Crystal Muguerza gives us the inside scoop.
It twists, it turns, and it drops at a 90-degree angle. The Loco is giving riders a thrill of a lifetime.
Turns you upside down, all around, flips you over, it's fantastic.
The Loco is the newest roller coaster at the Adventure Dome in Circus Circus, and it's only the second of its kind in the country. Adventure Dome Vice President Tom Nolan says this project has been in the works since 2006.
Economics actually slowed down the process when the world changed here in Las Vegas, but luckily things are on the back uptick, and we wanted to position ourselves to be ready for when things come back and get normal again.
Well, things are back to normal, and the Adventure Dome is doing well.
It's only been open a couple weeks, but the couple weekends that we've had since it opened, the guest counts are up, that's for sure.
For the Adventure Dome, the El Loco is living up to its expectations. In 72 seconds, the El Loco promises to pack a punch.
The El Loco is a different ride, that's for sure. From the moment you get on the ride and going up the lift, as it jets you up, it's nonstop from the moment you get in to the moment you get out, and that really sets it apart from all the other rides. But we feel it's going to be a great addition to the ride mix here in the Adventure Dome.
For Studio G, I'm Crystal Maguerza.
For more information about hours of operation and ticket prices, visit their website at www.adventuredome.com.
That roller coaster looks simply amazing.
It does. I've only ever been there once, but you know what? I think I might go again because that was pretty cool.
Definitely. Even though it looks really, really fun, I'm having second thoughts about going because I might scream like a little girl, to be honest.
Oh, but that's all the fun part. Come on.
Okay. Well, that's all the news that we have for you guys today.
Well, we'll be bringing you more tomorrow, and would you want to see the NASCAR race as well tonight?
The NASCAR? If my girlfriend wants to go with me.
I've never been a big NASCAR fan. I've always understood it as just cars going around and around and around in a circle.
Yes, and it's very, very dangerous too.
Right?
But they are professional drivers.
Exactly. Well, that's all the Studio G we have for you.
I'm Kyle King.
And I'm Elena Ledbetter. Tune in tomorrow for another edition of Studio G. Have a great day,
Las Vegas.